Hello everyone and welcome to Ashley Plans and Saves. I'm Ashley and today I have an exciting video to share with you. I'm going to be describing what my family and I paid for my undergrad college experience so that we could both be debt free by the time I graduated. And spoiler alert, it really has to do with finding a school that has great financial aid so that I had low tuition and I took out a small initial loan that helped me and my family get through the first few semesters of college. So, in combination of those two things, I do want to show you exactly real deal the numbers that we paid for a private 4-year college education. Um, and yeah, let's just jump right into it. So, here is this nice, beautiful Excel sheet that I put together using the numbers that I got from my college. So I asked them to provide me with a full account detail of all of the charges, what those charges were for, all the payments made towards my account, including scholarships and student payments. So these are numbers just based on what my college provided me. And before I get into the nitty gritty of the numbers, I do want to put like a basic disclaimer out. Um, the absolute only reason why it was possible for me and my family to finish off my undergrad college experience debt free was because of the way my school did financial aid. Like I said, my school was a private 4-year college, and typically those run about $60,000 a year for the total cost of tuition, which mine did run about $60,000 a year. However, my school's financial aid policy was that they would meet 100% of your family's financial need without loans in their financial aid package. So, based on their financial aid applications, based on the FAFSA that we completed every year, they would determine how much your family could pay. And then, whatever the difference was between that and the cost of attendance, they would provide you a financial aid package filled with federal grants or college scholarships, right? So they didn't ask you to take out loans to meet the need or to meet the required tuition. They were much more accommodating and 100%, like I said, that is the only reason why I can make this video and share how we were able to do this debt free. Um, I did do a lot of research initially when I was in sophomore and junior year of high school. Before I even knew exactly what college I wanted to go to, I knew that I have two choices. I can go to a very, very cheap state school or city school because I'm in New York City, so we have like city colleges, um, or I could find a school that has like really strong financial aid because there's just no way we could pay um, as much as I knew typical colleges ran. So, with those two things in mind, I just kept an eye out for how I could get a school that would pay basically for most of my education. And it ended up being that really, really competitive schools, and by competitive, I mean competitive to get into, those schools typically had the best financial aid packages. So, I like worked my little took us off in high school so that I could be a competitive applicant for these colleges. And luckily for me, and thankful to like my teachers who wrote recommendations, my parents who like pushed me, were like really by my side the whole time. I did end up getting into a school that just was 100% exactly what I needed it to be because again, it gave 100% of financial need. I did end up taking out a small loan, like I mentioned previously, but again, that was not part of the financial aid package. It was not really required when you look at the numbers, but it's something I did to make myself feel a little bit more comfortable with the timing of things. So to jump right in, these are these are the numbers that represent what my family and I was responsible for paying towards my college. So I started college in the fall of 2012. That was my freshman year. For that school year, my family was responsible for $5,458. My sophomore year, fall 2013 to spring 2014, we were responsible for $6,048. Now, my junior year, fall 2014 to spring 2015, the expected cost was higher. It was $8,938. There's two reasons why I think this cost may have been significantly higher. The first being that my sister technically should have graduated college by the spring of 2014. So she started school in 2010 and she should have gone until about 2014 as like, a typical 4-year degree. So I do think my college was taking into account based on their own financial aid application that my parents were also paying for my sister's college. So either these numbers were like on the smaller side of things. And then when, the 4 years that she was reported to be in school was over, they started charging more like the average rate they would have charged if my sister was never in college at the same time as me to begin with. So that's one reasoning as to why this might be higher. Another idea I have is that perhaps my mom's income was higher when we did these applications. She probably worked maybe lots of overtime. She did that on occasion throughout my high school experience, so perhaps that was one reason. And that specifically came to mind when I look further down to see like what federal grants we got that year, and we did not qualify for the two federal grants we had been receiving, and I think those are based on income. So those are my two ideas, but I don't know the financial aid like application or the financial aid package whole system in schools. I feel like is very hard to grasp, and like how schools decide how much specifically to give you is like not a perfect science. So who knows? And my last semester, fall 2015, I say my last semester because I actually had enough credits by this time to actually not return in the spring of 2016. I did graduate May 2016 from college, but I had completed all my credits by the fall. So I just took that semester to start working full time and start saving for grad school. But would that's like in my part 3 video. So do not worry yourselves about that. It just means that instead of having to pay for 2 semesters, I just had to pay for one. So $4,040 was due for that last semester there. Now, here's like the nitty gritty. I did break down like each semester, what payments we made, what scholarships came out, things like that. So I'm not going to go into every single detail because the numbers are laid out for you. But in this chart here, I laid it out by semester, and I have light green being payments that my family and I made. This purple includes scholarships that I earned and that my school gave me to, meet that 100% of financial need, and including like federal grants, these two, the Pell and the SEOG grant, SEOG, yeah. Light pink are the loans that I was talking about. I did take out loans totaling about $5,500 from the federal government my freshman year, and that was split up this way. Quick point, this total amount is $54.46 that my school, according to their like account details, says that was taken out on or that I took out and was applied to my school. However, when I looked at my federal loan like website to pay, that has like the totals for each, like the unsubsidized and the subsidized portion, as well as when I looked at my credit report that includes these loans, that was not the actual total. The total was, I believe, $5,287. So I have no idea where that like extra $100 to $200 is coming from, but I'm just reporting exactly what's on my school bill. So that's that. And this line is for that deposit I had to make in May of 2012 just to secure my place in my college, and that paid towards that semester's tuition. So it wasn't just like lost money; it did eventually go to my tuition payment. Down here in green is all the refunds that my school gave me. The top line is for overpaying the school. That means I paid too much and they owed me money. And the bottom is for refunds, specifically for tax grants. My school, when you completed your taxes and you reported taxable scholarships, so scholarship that went to room and board and different fees like that, that portion of your scholarship is taxable. When you report that to the IRS, you typically have really, really high taxes due because you're not paying, through your payroll, you're not paying through your company taxes every single paycheck. You're paying all at once. So I had, I think one year I had a federal tax bill due of like $800, largely because of these taxable scholarships. So when you reported that to the IRS and you completed your taxes, my school was great because they paid those taxes. So they wrote a check out to the federal government for me to pay off my taxes when I included that in my, or because I did it every year. So when I included that in my tax return, they would pay for those. And then these two, I paid for New York, my New York State taxes out of pocket, but then they let me know that no, we'll pay for that too. So that's a refund for the 2 years that I paid out of pocket, and they just gave it back to me. So yeah, these ones in bold, really quick, they were not applied to my account. They were returned to me as a check, a refund check, whereas these two refunds here were credited to my account. So you can go through the numbers here, but basically the total due for my fall 2012 semester, my freshman year, was $2,729. Out of pocket, we overpaid. We paid $2,506. And then from the loan, actually paid $2,723 for us. So we significantly overpaid, and I did that not on purpose, but I was anxious. So when I got my student bill, like August of 2012, it had like about $5,000 that was due because the National Merit Scholarship that I had earned from my PSAT scores in my junior year of high school, that scholarship disbursement had not yet come out yet. So I was looking at this $5,000 bill like, oh no, we cannot pay that. I don't know when the disbursement will happen. It's from like a private corporation that's paying it to my school. So I was worried that I'd be there on my first day of intro to ed, of introduction to education, and like campus police would knock on the door and tell me to leave because I still had like a big balance on my account. So I wanted to get this loan just to make sure that there was no crazy stuff happening with my student account, that I would have more than enough to pay. And I did. So I had $2,500 more than I needed to pay. So that's what happened in the fall. But I did get a refund back as a check. In the spring, didn't do as much overpaying. Again, the total due was $27.29. We paid out of pocket $6 because again, that loan was $2,723. So that's how my fall semester went. Sorry, that's how my first year went. Now my sophomore year, down here, the total due in either semester was about $3,020. In the first semester, the fall, I did overpay again because I didn't see that scholarship having been dispersed yet. And at that point, I had accumulated a lot of money in my savings account, so I was able to make a full payment of $5,523 just to be on the safe side. Now in the spring, I did get that refund back because again, I did overpay and the scholarship did eventually come out. So that's what it was. But for the spring, I just made the complete and accurate payment of $3,025. Now the year that it was a bit more expensive for my school, my junior year, fall 2014 to spring 2015, my school bill was $4,469 each semester. I was not planning to overpay that at all because that was quite an amount. So I just paid the exact amount due. And my last year, fall 2015 to spring 2016, again, I only had that bill in the fall because the spring I was not in school. So with the student payment and with the credits to my account, it was a full payment. So $4,040 was paid. I only had to pay out of pocket $3,019 though because of those credits. So that's it. Like when you put all of that together, the total build, adding all these amounts, the total build was $24,484. The paid out of pocket OOP was $23,017. So just adding up like all of these amounts here. The amount paid by loans was $5,446. Again, that's from my school. The federal government basically, and my credit report says it was a bit less than that, but just what my school says, so I'm including it here. And then amount refunded to me was $5,000. And the amount credited to my account that was like paid towards my bill from like refunds was $1,021. So when you add up these amounts in green, it does equal $24,484. All right, so that is pretty much it. That is what my family and I paid towards my college experience, so that we could end up completely debt-free by the time I graduated. And now I know you're thinking, wait, Ashley, but you have this loan. You have about $5,000 in loans. How are you debt-free when you have that? Well, if you subscribe and you get alerted to when I post my part 2, you will see exactly how I personally was able to save and work my way through college so that I could, one, contribute a significant portion of my total due to my school, and how I was able to pay off that $5,000 loan throughout like 3 years of college, so that by like March of 2015, I was actually and truly completely debt free. So if you're interested in seeing that and learning more about like what jobs I worked in college, how much I worked in college, definitely subscribe because you get notified when maybe in a week or two I'll post that how video, um, which will also break down like how much I paid versus how much my family gave, and all that good stuff. And then I believe in part 3, I do want to go over my grad school experience, so like how I saved for grad school, working full time through grad school, and like how I, distributed my money and saved my money that way. Because I have spreadsheets here in this like Excel sheet dating back to 2013. So from 2013, my spring of 2013, where I was my freshman year of college, I have been tracking my income, tracking my savings, and tracking payments made to school. So that's really, um, I think, something interesting to look back on for me. So if you're interested in that, please subscribe. Otherwise, have a great day. Thank you so much for checking in, and I hope you guys are doing good. Bye, everyone.